So we're out here in the front of the shop today. We got a question a few videos back about bracing and the types of braces that you would want to put on different types of gates. Today we're talking about a wood privacy gate. And how do you brace it? Do you brace it? When to brace, when not to brace?
Braces or no braces?
We make ours here in-house and we use steel 1.5" square tubing. Anything 5 feet or less, we pretty much don't brace it. We use a really good system of hardware, so the Shark hardware. If you're familiar with our channel, you'll know all about that. Those hold up really well with smaller walk-through gates and some larger double drives. But what happens when we need to make a privacy gate a little bit bigger? Let's say maybe 8 foot or so. Then what do you do? Well, in that particular case, we would still use our steel frame. We would still use the Shark hardware, but we would add a brace. So if we were going to be adding a brace to a privacy gate such as this, we would want to think about the best way to brace it. Now you might see on some chain link gates that they're braced from the bottom corner back up to the top of the post. And those are normally done with something like a truss rod where you can cinch up the nut on the bottom, essentially raising up the gate. When talking about the wood privacy gates, you would definitely want to brace it from the low side to the high side, being away from the post. And you want to do it in that fashion because it supports the gate frame better that way. You don't have a truss rod to suck it up. You're relying on the structure of the wood and your fasteners to help hold the gate up. So we typically don't do a lot of that because we try to keep our privacy gates relatively small, but we occasionally do get a request for a larger one. And typically you want to keep that angle 45 degrees or less. That's going to be the absolute best way to add the most support. Once you start getting out further away from the actual hinge post, you might want to consider putting another middle upright in the center and then doing 2 diagonal braces in the same fashion. And that tends to work out pretty good. So if we were to put in a brace in the opposite direction, where we started here at my foot and went back up to the high side of the post, the gate would tend to droop and it just wouldn't have a great effect if you went the opposite direction. So that's typically how we brace our privacy gates if we need to. And you might see on chain link how a lot of times it's done the opposite way with a truss rod. We also have a large roll gate on the property that's a chain link roll gate, and those are trussed pretty much from the 2 top corners down to the middle of the gate. And that is because our roll gate's probably 30 feet long and it pretty much sucks up that center that wants to droop due to the length. Now this is really important, especially if you're a homeowner or a DIY person building your own gate and you don't have the luxury of having steel or some way to weld a steel frame gate together. Let's say you're making your own gate out of wood and 2x4s, a lot of people do that, then it's definitely important to brace it the correct way. And if you do it in this fashion, it's definitely going to be better than the other way. Hopefully this quick video explains how braces work, why you need them and when you need them. I know it was a quick and easy video, but hopefully it helps some of you out there. If you have any other questions or comments about bracing or gates in general, leave them in the comments. And let us know what you think of our content, what you'd like to see. If you have any good ideas or have any questions that you'd like us to do a short video on, let us know in the comments below. Appreciate you watching as always, and we'll catch you on the next one.